are you guys today?
Oh, hello.
Good, good. It looks like you have a nice halo over your head, which is
Yeah.
lovely.
Thank you. So I want to first start with both of you can answer this. What drew you to the roles in the Spiderwick Chronicles?
Mm.
Well, for
Joy.
me, I always love playing a mama. I played a lot of mamas in my time. So there's that. Also, I mean, this project based on this really beloved book series, the movie. I hadn't read the books, but I watched the movie and really loved the story. And I love the fact that they were making the children biracial, making them Black, and sort of changing that dynamic, which brings a whole other element to it. And it's just such a great story, and it's really grounded, even though it's like, fantastical and magical and mythical and all these things, which is something new for me as well. I've never played in that kind of space before. So, and then of course, the opportunity to work with like Slater over here. Okay, Slay, that's a Slay. So for all those reasons, it just seemed like a no-brainer for me to be a part of this amazing project.
What about you,
And it
Christian?
was an absolute joy to work with Joy. See how we do it? Yeah,
I love that. Um,
yeah.
well, actually, I want to ask you, Christian. You played the ogre Mulgarath. What would you say was the most challenging part of getting into character?
Mm.
Learning how to like open my mouth large enough to eat humans. That was really difficult. A lot of look, there weren't a lot of difficulties here. I just enjoyed the writing and I enjoyed the character. Uh, it was a fun role to play. The special effects team did a great job creating this 8 foot tall guy and with the branches coming out of his head and just knowing that that's what was really inside of me kind of gave me all the permission in the world to be as manipulative and sneaky and dangerous and scary as I could possibly be. So those are always fun roles to get the opportunity to play.
Love that. So now, Joy, the move to Hinton was a pivotal moment for the Grace family. How did you tap into those emotions of leaving your home and starting a new life?
I mean, leaving my home and starting a new life is like the story of my life. I mean, I grew up in the South Bronx. I left there. I went to school in Connecticut in high school, then I left there, so my whole life is like picking up and going and moving to where the opportunity is, no matter how scary or lonely or whatever that means. So like that was something that instantly. I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't know what it's like to maneuver in that way, but that is something that is innate in it's my DNA at this point.
It's just in
Awesome.
your being, it's in your
In
soul.
my being.
So I just want to get started asking you guys some questions that I for sure had while watching this series. I want to start with the twins. So while watching this series, you two had your own special language that no one else understood except for you two. What was the process of learning that special twin language?
I mean, it was a pretty long process. We had a linguistics coach who helped us learn the language and how to pronounce it. Um, I remember like the first day me and Lion ever had a scene where we were saying the language. I mean, we were there for like 2 or 3 hours just because it's just so difficult to get in your head and try and pronounce correctly. But
You want to make it flow naturally and
yeah.
just have a very natural pace to it. But it was fun to play around with, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now I want to get to Michaela. So throughout this series, Mallory is a pretty strong-minded, independent character. Um, and can you share some insights about her development and how you brought her to life on screen?
Yeah, there was I love Mallory's trajectory in her story because she kind of has this like hard shell around her in the beginning. And yeah, there's strength that comes with that, but it kind of hardens her to the world and to her family, more importantly. And so throughout the series, we kind of see that shell crack open, and then eventually she's able to see what really matters and be there for her family, and also step into her strength, but it comes from a much more genuine place, if that makes sense.
All right, so this one is for each of you. I want each of you to kind of answer this in your own way. If you could have one magical ability from the series in real life, what would it be and how would you use it?
Hmm. That's a really good question. I
I
mean, shape-shifting, it's like, I mean, there's so much good and bad you could do with shape-shifting, but I'm trying to think of like a example. Like, I don't know. I'll keep thinking. You know what? You guys answer.
I know mine. I would definitely say invisibility. Like
That
that
was
is
mine.
awesome. Invisibility is perfect. Like you can be anywhere in the world and nobody would have any clue at all. Like it's just too perfect. Also, like if like you know what I think about, if something embarrassing happens, like you just invisible. You don't gotta worry about it. That would be fire too.
Yes, I
Yeah.
would be invisible as well. That's my favorite.
That's a good one.
What
I
about
was
you?
gonna say shape shifting, for sure. I think it would be fun because then I could be the president. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like I could make some laws real quick. I could be, anyone at any point, and get away with a lot, I'm sure.
Walk into a boxing gym and transform into Mike Tyson. Like,
yeah, you could
Or you could do
just
that.
And so throughout the series, we also see just different bonds between the siblings. Sometimes they're good, sometimes not so great. How did you guys work together to develop the chemistry and authenticity of those relationships on screen?
um, it was very, very natural. I mean, Noah and I read with each other a lot. We read with each other on a Zoom, and then we did a chem read in person in LA. And it was a very, very natural dynamic. And same with Michaela. And I think we built off of each other very, very, very well.
yeah.
Um, and when you're working with people for months, it's so easy to get comfortable and play with scenes and kind of get out of your comfort zone, especially when it's people you're comfortable with.
Yeah, like Lion said, not even just as characters, but just as people, we build off of each other very well, and that definitely shows in the show, and it impacts the work, and it just makes everything so much better.
So I'm going to start off by just asking, how did each of you prepare for your roles in this series, especially considering the magical elements?
Ooh, prepare. I don't know. I've always sort of been in touch with the magic. At least I try to be. I truly do believe that in some forests and in some little hidden caves and stuff, there are little critters, perhaps. Who's to say? What's the evidence of proving me wrong? I'd like to think. I also like to think that Santa is still real, but apparently he's not. Science is against that. But
Okay.
I know. It was just very easy for me to play pretend. These are kind of the roles that I am. It's very easy for me to slip into the shoes of a tiny little critter or whatever this big. It's just, I get to play pretend like how I did when I was a kid. It's like, this is what I like to do when I act. It's
So you
just
have a very big imagination.
Oh, totally, definitely. I love to imagine.
What about you, Olivia?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what he said. This is my favorite genre to kind of work in, and first time that I've worked in this genre, which was so much fun. And I mean, it was just so cool to also with a role like Calliope and like Thimbletack. It's almost like the Grace family are the more like grounded real characters, and then we kind of get to come in and just like have like so much fun with our characters, and especially Christian with Mulgarath. Like he just goes above and beyond and just really, you could just tell he was like just his little kid at heart was having so much fun playing that character just because he was just having the best time with it. And same for me, I had the best time playing Calliope and the best time figuring her out as a character and just kind of getting to go into this world where, and also the vibe of the set was just so great, and like the magical vibes were very much seeping into everybody's outlook and on the show. And this is not making sense anymore, so I'm gonna stop talking. But yes, very, very fun. It was a great time.
All right, so this next one is for both of you. If you could have any magical creature as a pet or as a companion in real life, which would you choose and why?
From Spiderwick Chronicles.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You
There's
know,
lots of options to choose from.
I do have plenty. I would say Thimbletack, but I feel like I already got so much of that energy already living in my head, so I'll take a break from that and I'll go with a little pixie guy, a little pixie fairy. I like those. They're fun and they feel calming. Feel like
Just to have a fairy, you know, flying around your house.
could be or like on my shoulder, like
Why
like
not?
doing my hair and stuff whenever I need.
I said Thimbletack before, so I feel like I should switch up my answer.
Yeah.
Let me think. I said Phoenix last a few weeks ago, and I think that also would be so sick. Imagine showing up to somebody's house and then going in their backyard and they just have like a phoenix sitting there. I feel like that'd get me many cool points.
Right.
And it's also like getting to just ride a phoenix around my neighborhood and like go into I like live in the hills, so getting to like do it all, like that'd be really sick.
Awesome. Now, this series is filled with lots of intense and action-packed moments. Were there any memorable behind-the-scenes moments while filming those scenes?
There were. I mean, yeah, there were. I'm trying to think of like anything specific because I keep getting asked this question and so many things come to mind. I mean, I think the main thing is we just all got along really well on set and we all ended up being like best friends, which was honestly rare and really fun. To like the people that you work with so much and is such a pleasure to get to work with them. I mean, we got to do a lot of outdoor filming, which I love, and I love Vancouver. It is my favorite place in the world. I would move there in a second. So getting to work in Vancouver outside, mostly all the scenes when we were all together and doing all the group stuff was so much fun. Just because the vibes on set were so great. And then also getting to do all this press stuff is always my favorite part. I love doing press. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Jack?
So I don't know if you know, but I was not allowed to go into. Oh, not that I wasn't allowed. They already had finished shooting, or they would do certain things. I don't think they were completely finished. They were close, and then I started recording stuff. So I didn't go on set. I was in a booth recording for Thimbletack, his little preciousness. But yeah, I mean, there was still magic. I feel like Aaron and Kat really supplied that magic, and then everybody else working behind the scenes too, producers and whatnot. It felt like just very there was a lot of levity, a lot of light, and I had a blast. I had a blast working on that.
You know,
Awesome.
they say that fetches are the loneliest creature in the world, but I wonder if it's Thimbletack because he's all alone in the booth.
I wonder.
All
All right. Thank you guys so much for just taking some time out to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.